Okay, we are pleased to be joined at this time by Jack State women's basketball coach Rick Petrie, and our student athlete from Jack State today is Kiara Griffin. Coach, if you would just give us some thoughts on the upcoming season, and then we will take some questions from the audience.
Okay. This is going to be a new experience for me. This is my 24th year as a Division I head women's basketball coach, and it's the first year I've had more newcomers than returners on my roster. We have 5 returning players with experience. We have 7 brand newcomers and 1 player who was injured all last year who hasn't played. So the majority of our roster is newcomers. So now they're gifted newcomers, and I believe that they can function well at this level. But our chore so far, we've had 14 practices in the official practice area, and we've had days we've looked like we're supposed to look, and then we've had days where not so much. So we're trying to get everybody comfortable, the newcomers within our system and methods, and I think once we do, I think we have a chance to be really competitive for sure.
Questions? Mark?
Coach, could you talk about Kiara? She's got so much experience, has given you so much in the past. Talk about where she's at and kind of what your expectations are.
Well, Kiara is a 3-year starter, so this is her 4th year in the program, and so she's someone who clearly has the most experience. She's the only person on the roster who's been in our program for 3 years. So she has the most experience. She's experienced a lot of success. All 3 years that she's been here, we've had winning teams. And so she has the highest level of familiarity with what we do and how we do it. And she is someone who has kind of filled a role as a starter in the past, and now we're going to be looking for her to kind of elevate her own role within what we're doing, and looking for her to make a step forward this year, which is natural, being that she's the only returning starter. The other 4 starters we have matriculated out. So it's just natural that as the only returning starter that this would be a time for her to raise her level.
Kiara, it looked like during part of his answer when he talked about you elevating your role, looked like you nodded your head. What are your thoughts on and your own expectations for this year for you?
I'm taking in the role of being a leader this year with being, like he said, the only returning starter. I've been here the longest. I know his program the most out of everybody who's here. So I'm really just looking to basically buy into what he's telling us, help everybody get to where they need to be. Like he said, elevate my role, take up the slack of what we lost, basically.
Could you talk about the differences between when you first came 3 years ago, it feels longer sometimes, I'm sure, and now, how you approach and how you feel about your own play?
When I first got here as a freshman, I was thrown into the starting role. So, I was kind of nervous because it's my first collegiate game. So I just went out there, just tried to take everything he taught me, apply it to the court, and as we're going on in the game, look to him for, guidance. And now I take it as far as kind of trying to be his eyes on the court. Now I see what he needs, what he's looking for on the court as far as what plays we need to run, how we should run defense, how we should play help defense, how we should stop this player, or how he wants his systems to be run on the court.
Kiara, in this day and time in Division I athletics, lots of players take advantage of their right to go in the transfer portal if they want to. But you seem to be happy and satisfied at Jacksonville State. What is it about the program, the campus, just whatever, that keeps you wanting to stay at Jacksonville State and be part of Coach Petrie's program?
As far as the university, of course, I go to the friendliest campus in the South, so, it's all fun there. As far as being in his program, I've enjoyed it. I've never wanted to leave. I love his coaching style. I mean, you have your hard days, like he said, we're just messing up and he's getting on our case, but who doesn't have their hard days? So, but it's never been a time where I just decide, I wanted to decide I want to leave here. I feel like he gives me the best shot to be the best player I can be, and he looks for that in me every day.
No, you go ahead, please.
Coach Petrie, what would you say Kiara most
Well, I think primarily just being more aggressive and in more of an attacking mode. I think that because we had other people on the roster before who were more aggressive, I think there might have been a little bit of deference in the past, and so now there's no need for deference. It's time to be aggressive and attack more, and I think that's something, and I think she knows that, and I think that that's something that she knows that needs to happen to take her game to the next level.
Kiara, is that fun to hear? Not many people get told, says, yeah, shoot if you've got it.
I mean, yeah, it's fun to hear because, like I said, I'm feeling into a kind of a new role. Like, of course, I've been a 3-year starter, but I've also been a role player as a starter, too. So coming to this role and actually, like, okay, like, you taking over this team, this is your team, you need to lead this team, it is fun to hear.
Could you talk about what you've seen from your teammates and how practice has gone from your perspective?
It's been fun seeing how everybody has picked up, like, everything they've learned, like, as it's starting to finally click. Day one, we put something in, it's a struggle. Everybody's still trying to figure out how to do it. But as we go on to, like, day 3 of doing this same drill and everybody's finally clicking on all cylinders, it's fun to see, and it makes you excited to see the season and how we would play against another opponent.
Coach, one last thing for you. Kiara, and I think you and I talked about this before, she just has so much personality. She's so much fun to be around. Do you get that too as a coach?
Absolutely. One of the things that people do, we spend, as coach and players, and particularly once you get into the regular season and you start traveling together, we spend a lot of time together. So there's no question that Kiara has, her personality has always been omnipresent within the group. And I know it will continue to be. But honestly, that's the thing about coaching in college for me, that because I coached high school, as you know, high school boys as a head coach, the whole traveling experience, I really relish. I enjoy traveling with the team, and when we are able to extend our trips for certain reasons to allow them to have the chance to enjoy places that we travel to, and that part of that experience is something that I have loved in this profession.
Coach, we had a submitted question. What's your thoughts on Huntsville being the host of the conference tournament in March and your close proximity to it and possibility of getting into the tournament and having a great turnout here?
Well, listen, for me, when I learned the tournament was here, I was extremely excited because, number one, it's in our state. Although some people still think we're in Jacksonville, Florida. We are not. We are in Alabama. But the other thing is that it's just for practical reasons it was exciting, just because of the fact that we can get here in a couple of hours. Instead of having to travel longer distance. So for instance, had it been in Frisco, we'd have known we'd have been in a plane. And now we're in a car, in a bus, and we'll get here, and it'll be convenient for us. There's absolutely no question about that.
One other submitted question about whoever put your schedule together, the fact you go to Auburn, to Mississippi State in your first 3 regular season games.
Yeah, we need to fire the person who authorized that. It is, we're going to do what we can do. We open up at Auburn, and listen, other than looking for tendencies of what I do as a coach, there's not going to be a whole lot, because we got so many new folks, and new folks that we will be relying upon. And so there's not going to be any video out yet, and so at least we've got that going for us. But listen, it is a rough stretch to open it up, and we've talked about that as a group too. It's a rough stretch.
Any questions? Yes, Mo, we'll start with you, then we'll go to Max.
Hey, Coach, we were talking about this in the hallway not too long ago. Among your new players on your team is Samaya Steele from right up the road in Hazel Green, transferring over from Alabama State. What do you like about her game, and what can she present to your squad to make you guys successful?
Well, Samaya, first off, she's a great kid. She's got a tremendous personality. She's very popular within the group, within our players. From a basketball standpoint, she's solid in what she does. She, like our other newcomers, is trying to digest, because there's certain things that we ask people to do that they might not have been asked to do it in that specific way before. And so she is a pleaser, so she's trying to do it the right way. But sometimes when you do that, you slow yourself down, and that's not just a Samaya situation, that's all of our newcomers. And so we want to get to the point where all of them have ingested what it is they're supposed to do to the level where they don't have to slow down, where they can function at the highest and quickest speed that they can. And I think once she, as well as the other newcomers, do that, I think we'll be okay.
Max? Okay. Anything else? Coach, appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, guys. Good luck
Thank you.
this year. Look forward to having you back in March.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.